Okay, so tonight is the easy oven-baked spicy chicken tacos. So you're going to need some olive oil, a packet of taco seasoning mix. Here, let me turn it this way. Half a cup of onion, one 14.5-ounce can diced tomato drained, and then a small can of the El Paso chopped green chilies. But you know what I use instead? I just get a can of this Rotel. Because you know what? It's the same thing. You can usually get it on sale 10 for 10. And that way you only have one can versus two, and it's cheaper. And then you want to get your stand-in stuffed taco shells. And then you need some refried beans and some Mexican 4-cheese cheese. And then there you go. And then so what I do, this actually makes 2 meals. So you're going to go ahead and cook everything. And then what you're going to do is only make 5 taco shells. And that way you each get 2.5. And then you just refrigerate the chicken mixture and then the leftover refried beans. And then you just make this the next night. And all you have to do then is just pull out your leftovers and do it again. But that way it's nice and fresh, because otherwise I don't think these would keep very well for you guys. But anyway, it works out where it's 2.5 tacos for each one of us. So anywho, so I've gone ahead and I've chopped up my onion, and I'm going to turn the gas on. And then what I did for it to be easy, I just picked up a rotisserie chicken. You know, $5-6 at the grocery store. It's actually pretty easy. You know, you're going to use maybe almost all of the breast, but you'll have a little bit of chicken left over. So if you want to make like a chicken sandwich or use it for something else. Otherwise, you can use like a couple of chicken breasts. But what you want to do is you want to be shredding the chicken anyway. So using rotisserie chicken's easier. Or you can probably just get those already made grill strips, but I think they're kind of pricey. So 1/2 pound of cooked chicken, so that would maybe even actually just be one good-sized chicken breast. And then you're just going to cook it, and then you're going to shred it up, and that should be plenty. Because really, once you have this lining the bottom of your shells, and then this in your filling, and then your onions in your filling, it's going to be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and start my onions. So I'm going to pause this. Okay, so I have browned the onions. I have shredded some of my chicken, and I have drained the Rotel. So once the onions have cooked 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to go ahead and you're going to add the tomatoes. All of them, and you're going to add the dry packet of seasoning. Do not add any water. I know it's going to be kind of counterintuitive, and you're going to want to. You're going to feel like you should, but honestly, you really don't want it to be wet, because otherwise it's going to make your shells soggy. So make sure it's all, I kind of mix this in better. Sorry for the picture, I'm an amateur, guys. So you're going to kind of mix this together, and then you're going to add your chicken to it. I find that seems to be the easiest way to do it. So you're just going to kind of stir it in really good. Make sure that the chicken gets nice and coated with the seasonings and stuff. And then you're going to kind of let this cook for about 5 to 8 minutes. I sometimes don't go that long just because, you know, the chicken's already cooked, so I'm not real sure. But I think it's probably just to absorb the rest of the liquid that might be in here. So, oops. I'm throwing stuff out the... Anywho. Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. I'm flinging chicken all over the place. All right. Don't laugh, people. It's not funny being old. All right. Let me get my piece of chicken back in here. All right. Crikey. It's not easy holding a phone and recording and talking. Okay. So you're just going to kind of let that cook a little bit over some medium heat. That's basically what I did with the onions. It's just a little medium heat. You don't need to get too hot. You just basically need to soften the onions up. So we're going to just leave it right here, and we shall return. Okay, so while the chicken is simmering, you can basically start fixing your shells. So I took my refried beans and I scooped out about a heaping teaspoon of the bean mixture into each one of the shells. And then to do this, I just take my finger and just kind of mash it down in the shell and kind of spread it out. It's a lot easier to just use your finger to do that. So I'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, we have filled the taco shells and put them in our baking dish that's been sprayed with some oil. And basically what I did is after it cooked, I just kind of split this in half, put half on one side of the pan, did the other half, and then filled my shells accordingly. So all that's left now is to top it with yummy, delicious cheese. So you're going to use half the package, and then what you're going to try to do is put the cheese inside each shell. And again, I'm doing this one-handed, so you two can be really impressed with the old lady here. You can just call me Julia Child. All right. So we basically have, I mean, these are going to be cheesy. So anyway. Okay. So now they're ready for the oven. So while you're cooking everything and whatever, go ahead and turn your oven on and preheat it to 400 degrees. So these are going to go in the oven and we're going to bake them for 12 to 14 minutes. There you go. All right, so after 12 to 14 minutes, you take them out of the oven, and this is what they look like. And then I'm going to put them back in for another minute just because I like the things to be a little bit crispier. So you can basically top those with some sour cream, some taco sauce, and some sliced black olives. And then you just store the other half for tomorrow night. And then you just have to put them together. You don't have to do any of the cooking except for the baking. Okay, we're done. Say hi, Angus.
Hi.